everyone. Welcome back to Ghostwood, the Twin Peaks podcast. I'm Charles Skaggs. A little nervous about this podcast once again, here at episode 48. But I'm here on a Thursday evening. I'm here talking to one of my favorite people, the ever delightful, ever charming, ever witty Zan Sprouse. Hi, Zan.
Hi, Charles. I really hope I can live up to that introduction. Thank you so much.
Well, I'm not lying about the introduction here, so you don't have to. It's just I calls it like I sees it.
Well, I appreciate it, and back at you tenfold, my friend. So this is a great night. It's a Thursday night. We're here together. We're going to talk about Twin Peaks.
Right.
Your microphone's working. Knock on wood, the recorder's going to work.
And hopefully our Skype session doesn't get interrupted.
I'm sitting on my hands so I don't accidentally touch my trackpad and hang up on you again, like I've done twice already. And
bad trackpad. That's a bad trackpad.
It's my turn tonight to tell all of our secrets, to tell all of our technological secrets.
We're just being transparent because we know we want the audience to know that, hey, we're real people. We have real problems.
Who can I tell all of my technological failure secrets to? Not
exactly.
A child. A child would want to do it his own way.
That is an obscure reference.
I'm going to sit on my hands.
Yes.
So I don't accidentally touch anything. And God help us if the cat tries to run across the keyboard, but I don't think she's going to.
Okay.
She looks really sleepy.
All right.
So.
All right. So fingers crossed, everybody, that we're going to get through this. Yeah. All right. So
Hopefully today. My voice holds out.
Here today, yes. Yes, because Zan also has some laryngitis that she's struggling with.
Laryngitis and viral bronchitis. So,
okay. All right, let's see if we can finish this take before Zan's voice completely dies.
Let's do it. Place your bets, everybody.
All right, start. You roll. You spins the wheel. You takes your chances, and
I'm gonna see. The thing is, I'm going to screw this up for myself because I am going to be yelling Missoula, Montana at some point today.
Yes. So. Well, that's good. That goes without saying because yes, we're talking here at episode 48. We're talking Lonely Souls.
Lonely Souls, episode 7 of season 2 of Twin Peaks.
Yes.
And
boy, I wish I would have said that. Oh wait, I did.
You did. I stole it from you. I stole it.
You did. You thief.
I feel like Rob. I feel like Rob. What's his name from? Northern Exposure on Saturday Night Live with the time machine where
Rob Morrow?
Rob Morrow, yeah, when he was on Saturday Night Live and he wasn't good with conversation, so he goes in the bathroom and does a time machine, and then he's really witty at dinner because he steals everybody else's jokes.
Oh, I completely forgot about that. Now that you mention it, yeah, I remember that. Wow.
Hey, we're talking 90s TV,
I know.
You know. If I'm gonna digress, it might as well be into more 90s TV.
And we might actually get more Northern Exposure now that I mention it, or now that it comes up, because apparently they're trying to revive that. At least Rob Morrow probably is, because he probably has nothing else going on right now.
I thought he was like doing directing kind of stuff now. I don't know what he's up to. Yeah, I don't know. If they can get Chris in the morning, I will be there with bells on.
Exactly. Yes.
Seriously.
Yeah. Because he was my favorite character of the original series.
I told you my Chris in the Morning story in class one time, right?
Yes, you did.
Where my teacher said, "What's the guy that everybody is into right now?" And I said, well, that was that. Oh my God, I can't think of his name. What's his real name?
John something.
Yes, I said that would be John Corbett.
That's it. Yeah.
And he's like, "Who?" And I said, "Chris in the Morning from Northern Exposure." And all the girls in the class went, "Oh yeah." Oh yeah. So yeah, he's why we watched that show.
See, that was a little after my time in high school, so I didn't have to worry about that for
right.
For
I'm going to tell you right now, Charles.
In quotes, yes.
I'm going to tell you right now, though. You know, even though you might not have been dating high school girls, but you were still in competition with Chris in the Morning.
I didn't even know. Even before he started on the show, I was in competition with Chris in the Morning, probably. Even before the character was written on the page, I was in competition with Chris.
Everybody's favorite long-haired felon DJ.
Yes. Yep.
So
bad boy.
Yeah. That's how I learned that you can't vote as a felon in the U.S. was that show.
Right.
So.
All right. So getting back to Twin Peaks. This episode aired on November 10th, 1990, 3 days after my mom's 54th birthday.
Happy 54th birthday, Mom.
Well, it's deja vu all over again. And was written by Mark Frost and David Lynch. So
that's the winning combo that you want right there, kids.
It's all good.
Yes.
As far as Twin Peaks goes. This is as good as it gets.
The other way around is a winning combo, but this is the more winning combo.
Exactly. This is the boss level.
Yes. This is the writer in the writer's chair and the director in the director's chair.
Yep.
And that's what we want.
And turned out a classic episode that's personally one of my favorite episodes of Twin Peaks, especially the kind of like last 10 minutes of the show, which I think are perfection.
Oh, it's so wonderful and so tense. And the thing is you wonder after this episode, where are we going to go from here? But remember how I've said the last few episodes that we're setting up a bunch of things?
Right.
With a slow burn that we're going to need to know where they go.
Now we're getting the payoffs.
And that's what's going to happen throughout. We're gonna the slow. It's gonna come up in a big old mushroom cloud, and we're gonna get this beautiful, delicious candy fallout.
Right, and and we'll get Bob being birthed. Oh wait, that happened before, but yeah.
That's nice. That's the 40s.
Yeah. Okay, that's a different atomic explosion.
That's a different atomic thing. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
That was the water. This is the well.
Exactly. So here with this episode, it's a big one, and we not only get the revelation of the identity of the suspiciously racist Mr. Tajimura.
And well pedicured.
Mr. Tajimura.
Yeah.
And apparently affectionate Mr. Tajimura in this episode.
There is a thing about being in Twin Peaks and having people want to do it with you through the bars. That's just a thing.
Well, you can't resist the irresistible Pete Martell charm. That's
the thing. Unless you're Chad.
This is true.
Nobody wants to have sex with Chad through the jail bars. We all know it.
Exactly. But we also get the return of the log lady in this one. We get
Yay!
2 wonderful performances by Julie Cruz. One very, very sad, but awesome.
Is there actually not wonderful performance by Julie Cruz?
Exactly. And we get the return of Carol Strucken as the Giants. Once again, we get a little quick cameo once again of David Lynch as Gordon Cole before he heads off to Bend, Oregon. Which is a lovely place, by the way. My cousin Kelly lives there, as does my friend Ben. Excellent. Who lives in Bend. You have to really enunciate so people know what the hell you're talking about. Bend, Oregon. Interesting.
Bend. Yep.
Okay, I'm sure that's not problematic for him.
Well,
we also get the return of Hank Warden as the waiter. And thankfully, much more easier to tolerate this time because he's rather sad in this one.
A little bit. Yeah. That milk is going to cool on him.
Yeah, if you let it sit. Yep, exactly. Yeah. That milk will cool on you.
I don't care if it gets cool. It's that skin that I can't handle.
Yeah, that little film. Yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
And appearance by Zan's least favorite person. So stay tuned for that. Or least favorite person to see visually.
Oh, okay.
You see where I was going to go with that? Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of people I don't like here.
Okay. Well, this one is your least favorite to see visually.
Yeah, and we know where we're going to be closing our eyes.
Exactly.
So Charles will keep you entertained while I'm got my hands over my eyes. I'm doing the Pan's Labyrinth with my hands.
Oh yeah, that's nice reference.
Yeah.
You just have but you don't have the eyes coming out of your hands.
That's why I did it this way, so it's like cheap makeup.
Okay. It's makeup by Guillermo del Toro.
I don't have the time or the money to put into that cosplay thing.
Exactly. This is the bargain basement. This is the sweeted version.
This is the.
If you know what sweeted is.
I absolutely know what sweeted is.
Right.
Yeah, this is the cardboard box inside out with Sharpie.
This would be the kind of version that I would make when 12 years old, looking for stuff to do in my bedroom. Like
I'm Idaho.
Get some nice Ralph reference.
Thank you. Yeah, Ralph is about as good as So yeah, I've got my Halloween costumes planned out for like the next couple of years. I think I need to be Ralph with Idaho, with the Ralph Idaho,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna be Johnny McRubberfist, Freddie McRubberfist,
Freddie McRubberfist. Yes, we
with
talked about him.
my one green rubber glove.
All right.
So it's gonna be good. They're easy costumes. I can
exactly.
do
You could probably costumes under $5 by Zan Sprouse.
Oh my gosh! Look for it wherever Kindle books are sold for under 99 cents.
By Whammo. All right. So if everybody's ready, let's talk about this rather awesome episode.
Please, I'm excited to watch it. Let's do it.
Yes. And hopefully we only have to do one take on this so we don't get burned. But it's kind of hard to get burned on this one. It's one of my faves. Okay, so as always, the 1 minute 31 second mark, if for those of you playing the home game.
Okay.
And if everybody's ready, got their video devices queued up, we'll count down and synchronize in 3, 2, 1. Doink.
Boink. The hallway coffee party.
Exactly. Coffee time.
Coffee time. Coffee time.
So,
a large house made of wood surrounded by trees filled with many rooms.
It's like
each alike.
Mike, you said this last episode.
Different souls. Night after night. Night after night. So.
Everybody's having their coffee and donuts.
Yeah, where are the other 87 boxes of donuts?
Harry ate them all. We talked about this.
Harry ate them all. Yeah, Harry's been there for an hour. So
you notice he was off camera. That's what he was doing.
He was eating the rest of the donuts. He was in that chair that Homer's in hell, where he's getting force fed the donuts by the devil.
Yes.
Yeah, he just has one of those in his office.
The robot devil. No.
The robot devil, yes. We know all your sins, Bender. Over to Bend, Oregon for official business.
Yep, and we get the return of Grace Zabriskie in this episode too.
Oh,
good stuff.
It's always wonderful to watch her. It's wonderful in the sense that she's so fantastic at what she does, but it really does break your heart a lot of the times when you watch her, especially in this episode, because she's pretty much. Well, she's going to lose everything, kids. Spoiler alert, the show's been around for 29 years this year.
Right, exactly. So yeah, I just want to know what...
hey, is that a wooden house surrounded by trees with a bunch of rooms that all look the same?
Why, it could be.
It could very well be. Oh, that clock is so gaudy. I love it.
Is. And here we have Mike kind of just checking everybody out one by one as they're paraded down in front of him to identify.
Yeah, something bad's about to happen here. He's a little bit agitated.
Yeah, he's not he's not doing well. Probably because of all these bouncing balls that for whatever reason they gave these sailors and Navy service people.
And just to look at Harry right here for a second, I'm going to quote MST3K and say, if bad movies has taught us anything, it's that small town sheriffs hold their belts a lot.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, 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 dun.
Now, Mike is like eyeing Tajimura. And here's Ben with his cigar going like, where's Parker? I want those pictures of Spider-Man now.
Then he said he didn't want a brother. They just fight. Okay, Mike has gotten a hold of the juju that is going on here in the Great Northern Hotel.
Yep. Now Ben shows up and all of a sudden Mike has a seizure. But is there a reason for that?
We don't know yet.
We don't know yet.
And I gotta say, I love the
cops filmed on location in Twin Peaks.
Oh, bad boys, what you want to do. Yeah.
So here we have, Harold has apparently trashed his...
He has kind of lost his mind.
His apartment, shredded diary pages.
Yep.
And is really bad at housekeeping.
So he's destroyed all of his orchids, he's destroyed Laura's diary, and...
Destroyed himself, really.
Pretty much, yeah. And it...
I'm just gonna
I
come
hope
in.
you're happy, Donna Hayward.
Seriously.
Oh, Harold. Oh,
Oh, yeah, that looks normal.
that's.
So that
Oh.
happened.
Now, do we know why I hate Donna Hayward so much?
Right.
Because
We
the thing
lost
is,
we lost this beautiful, insane person.
the thing is,
Oh,
this is never the answer, kids. There's always help. There's always hope. There's always the National Suicide Prevention Hotline.
right.
And I know this was Harold's choice, and he made the wrong choice. But this is what happens when you don't. This is what happens when you mess around with mentally upset people,
Right.
and you take advantage
Right.
of their
Condition.
fragile mental state.
Yeah.
1-800-273-TALK. There's always a better answer. I just have to say it.
No.
So I hope you're happy, Donna Hayward.
Right.
That's on your hands. You have blood on your hands. Donna killed a guy. In my opinion.
Donna killed a guy.
Yeah. Donna killed a guy.
So I actually looked up this version of What a Wonderful World by Louis Armstrong that's playing here, because it's not the traditional version.
No,
it has this little spoken word intro at the beginning. Mm-hmm. So apparently, this album is off of Louis and Friends.
Up. Did you see?
Yes.
Leland's reaction?
Yes.
When she said she was going home.
Yeah, Leland's not exactly thrilled about this, obviously.
Yeah, this is we are playing Bob or Leland here, and I think we're Bob.
Bob just slipped out for a moment.
Yeah, Bob is like, wait, all my plans.
Yes. But this is Louis and Friends. It's the Bluebird First Edition series from 1970. If you want to track it down, so look for that on YouTube. I actually found it on YouTube, so I'm going to totally rip an MP3 off of that.
You should totally post that to the Ghostwood page too.
Yeah, I could post that video because it's awesome.
Yep. I mean, this is so
complete
sweet.
that Twin Peaks soundtrack.
Heck yeah. This is just so sweet. They're sitting around in their bathrobes reading the paper. Right. I'm sure this is what their family has always done. So it's
like it's a Sunday
nice
morning.
For them.
Yep.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt you, Charles, about Louis Armstrong, but I just wanted to.
No. That's an important point.
I just want to point out that they were just chilling out, and she said, "I think I'm going to be going home," and he just bolts right up like.
No, I'm glad you pointed that out.
Yeah.
Oh, and here's the record player, which we'll see again later. Spoilers.
This is an amazing record player too.
Yep.
It's very cool. It looks like an old Victrola, but it's electronic.
That's what I was thinking.
You don't have to get those big, heavy, thick needles for your 78s, which are big, thick records. You can play whatever you want on it.
Check out Zambi in the audio file.
Yeah, I'm kind of a nerd.
No, that's cool.
How many diaries of teenagers are in here?
I know.
That's what I'm a little concerned about.
Like,
but again, he's never going to do anything.
It's like, man, this guy was a total slob.
He's just mentally.
Oh, we have a note.
I am a man alone.
I am a lonely soul.
Poor guy.
Yep.
Oh, Andy would lose his freaking mind.
Better put out an APB for David Lynch's kid.
Oh, look at this. Laura Palmer's Secret Diary. Somebody ripped the pages. This is This is a mass market paperback that has had the cover removed for returns.
It's like I could go buy this at Walton Books.
Literally, yeah. Then you could for sure.
I think I did.
What did you say this date was?
1990. It's November 10th, 1990.
I'm still not going anywhere near a Walgreens on November 10th, 1990. That's a little too close to Christmas.
Yep.
In the mall.
Yep. So here we have Bobby and Shelley pouring over the bills.
And here's Leo pouring oatmeal out of his mouth.
Spit.
Yep. That leaves you with nothing. Because you're never.
You lose. Good day, sir.
Yeah, $42, and that's for the month, kids.
Hey, it's better than today's healthcare.
Yeah. At least Leland's getting decent healthcare. Yeah, that's the thing. You know, Shelley's trying to remind Bobby
Yeah.
that he was going to take care of them, and now she's got to take care of Leo.
Yeah, this is all your idea, Bonehead. And Bobby's all like, well, I got to get to economics. Sorry, Shell, got to go. It's like all of a sudden he turns into like Dave Chappelle and knocks over a coffee mug and darts out of the room.
Well, yes. Yeah, and the thing is, this necklace probably isn't going to help you all that much. Yeah.
The shade.
Ugh. This is horrible. Yeah, that's true. They could sell his truck.
It was a good idea, but
it's a crime.
It's impounded.
A crime scene. Yes. So, somebody's going to be able to buy that at auction, which, I wonder if people are just driving. I mean, I wonder if somebody's driving down the street going, hey, isn't that truck from that porno magazine that I used to answer ads out of the back of?
Yeah, exactly.
I wonder if anybody recognizes the truck.
That'd be funny.
It's a really good question. Yeah. Think that Leo had money?
Nowadays, it would just be thrown up on eBay.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Buy Leo Johnson's truck.
Yeah, Leo Johnson's truck. Oh, Leo and his weird noises. See, that's the thing. We got to remember, Leo was a criminal.
Yeah.
Okay, running drugs across the border, running girls, running all kinds of crazy schemes. Even Bobby had given him like 10 grand at one point, and nobody knows where the money is. So it's got to be here somewhere.
Can we talk about how great Machen Amick is at being freaked out? She's really good at that. Yeah,
she's pretty fantastic. Yeah, is the money being built into one of these unfinished walls or something? I'm not quite sure. No shoes.
Yep.
No shoes.
One of Zan's favorite quotes.
One of my favorite quotes. I don't know why. I just think it's funny.
It just sticks in your head. I was waiting for this episode.
Yep.
Just for that reason.
Yeah, taking a pair of boots.
Boots? Well, that changes everything.
Boots? Do you have a receipt for these boots? I think I know exactly the answer to all of our problems.
Were these boots made for walking? Because that's just what they'll do. Nice assist.
You've been saying that you've got something for me. Yeah. Oh, that's so gross.
It is.
Oh,
even if it's just oatmeal, I'm just glad it's not pea soup.
I don't know if I've ever told you this, but I have like a saliva problem. Like I can't look at saliva or like hear saliva or deal with somebody's horkers.
Right.
But I have a hard time with that. You
get all grossed out by that.
Yeah, I know you're running hookers and you had sex with all my high school friends, Dad.
What? I like how Audrey points out something here that we've been waiting for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Are you trying to tell me that I almost had sex with you, Audrey? Because I think we both should never stop.
It's like you remember Prudence? I wore this little white mask.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we should probably never stop vomiting.
Oh, that mask.
Oh, God.
Yes.
Oh, sweet.
That awkward moment when Ben realizes he almost had sex with his daughter.
Oh, even that's even horrible for Ben Horn.
Yep. It's bad when even Ben Horn is skeeved out.
Yeah, that's a bad scene when it's making Ben Horn like.
Yep. I'm gonna need a Pepsid. Hold on.
Yes, I knew Laura worked there. Yes, I had sex with Laura. Yes, I had sex with Ronette. I don't know what else you want me to tell you, Audrey. Can we start vomiting yet, please? Because this is terrible.
Confession time.
Oh.
It does shock him into confessing.
Battis sent her without my knowing. Oh, please.
Yeah. Yep.
Although, something, I wonder if that might actually be true, considering.
Did you sleep with her?
Considering how
Audrey, it's Twin Peaks. Everybody slept with her.
In a town like Twin Peaks, nobody's innocent. Audrey, I have that T-shirt.
I want that T-shirt.
I don't have it anymore. I don't know what happened to it, but
Somebody
it was
needs
amazing.
to make that T-shirt.
It was. It was the Fire Walk with Me T-shirt.
Oh, I would
Yeah,
love
Twin
that.
Peaks Fire Walk with Me on the back, and then vertically down your spine, it said a film by David Lynch. At the bottom, it said, "In a town like Twin Peaks, no one is innocent." It was great. It was.
I need that shirt.
And I found it at the thrift store. It was incredible, and I don't know what the hell happened to it, but I wore it until it was threadbare.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, I'm wondering if this might actually be true.
Audrey asked Ben if he killed her, and his response is
Sort of.
waiting. It's a yes or no question, Daddy.
And see, that's the thing, is like I feel like it might actually be true that he didn't know Emery Battis sent her up there, because as you can see from right here, he kind of considers Laura more of a daughter than he does Audrey.
Right.
Which is horrible and wrong and cruel, and you're a bad person, and bad things should happen to you, Benjamin Horne.
Well, the big clue should be that he has a picture of Laura on his desk.
And not Audrey.
Exactly.
He's a terrible man. He's a terrible, terrible person.
Oh, hey, look, fresh coffee, 25 cents, and free refills. Beat that Starbucks.
That, seriously. Poor Shelley has to quit her job.
Yep.
Which sucks. Because she loves Norma, and she loves the diner.
And I think she's genuinely broken up about this.
She really is. I mean,
because she actually likes Norma. I think Norma's her best friend.
Norma's the big sister / mother that she obviously didn't have.
Right.
And she wants to, she loves the diner. She loves the people, and the people like her. So this is just a sad thing.
And the tips were amazing.
And now Norma's got to work there alone with freaking Hank. So nobody's happy.
No, she's got Heidi.
Heidi is late because her car won't start.
She's too busy jump starting the old man.
She's seconds on knockwurst every day. And she's got what's his name in the kitchen, but still,
Oh yeah, Toad.
It's not like having Shelley around.
Right.
So this is a sad thing.
There's only one Shelley.
And and I feel like Norma is kind of the cautionary tale for Shelley. Like, look, we said we'd stand by our crappy men, and here we are, and this is what that looks like. So.
Exactly. I think Norma worries that Shelley's going down her road, and feels guilty for her, or feels bad for her.
Shelley has an open invitation to come work there whenever she wants to.
Yep.
Whenever she can make it back. She's not going to be gone long. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not going to be long.
Nope.
So.
I'm sorry, Norma. The headhunter from Burger King just kept calling.
No way. Burger King doesn't give you any tips.
Oh, hey. Let's pick things up with Nadine and Ed.
Let's just make it a worse day for Norma, if that's possible.
Right. Well, all you need is Hank to make that happen.
I still don't understand. I mean, she acts like a 13-year-old, not like a 17-year-old. It's really strange. Actually, she acts more like an 11-year-old.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking, 11-year-old.
So,
but again, it's Nadine, so,
Yeah.
Maybe she was just really immature in high school.
Yeah, Nadine thinks they all work. They're all in high school.
And she's like, who's this?
Yep.
Who are you, strange person with Norma?
Is she new?
Yeah.
Who's she going out with? What's she doing here? Oh, spoiler alert.
Right.
Yeah.
You're not dating Ed too, are you?
You're not still in love with him because,
Then I'd have to kill you.
He's staying at my house, and we're pretending we're married and stuff. So.
Yeah.
I like how Ed hasn't told anybody in town that something's wrong with Nadine.
Wouldn't you be embarrassed to talk about it? I would be.
I don't know if I would. It's like, Nadine tried to kill herself, and then she woke up a superhuman strength and thinks she's 17. I don't know what to tell you guys, but you got to play along with me.
I don't know how you explain that one. You'd have to do it as needed basis, I would think.
You think he'd send out little postcards
That's true.
The people from the Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind Company do for you?
Or hand out little notes as he meets people. Going,
just palm it when you're shaking somebody's hand. Like, my wife is crazy. Just play along.
Just nod and smile.
Yeah, seriously.
Nod and smile politely.
Oh goodness. And Norma's like, I don't know what the heck is going on.
Exactly.
But
So Ed, does this count as statutory rape?
unfortunately, no.
Right.
Because she also thinks Ed is 17.
This is true.
So it's not like
But
she
Ed,
thinks
but
she's
Ed
17.
knows he's not 17.
Well, she thinks she's 17 and she thinks Ed's 17. If she thought that Ed was like 40, that'd be a problem. So
He's so dreamy.
he's pretty dreamy. He is. I gotta say, he's got one of the best voices of anybody I've ever heard.
He does.
And you know me, I like voices.
He does. I love his
Oh my
eyes.
God.
Like right here, he's like, "Oh, gotta give me this coffee."
He's like, oh my God.
Yeah, sweet milkshake. Oh,
Superhuman strength.
There goes another one. You mean she's destroyed milkshakes before?
No, there's not a crack in this glass. That's a diner milkshake glass. That will survive the apocalypse.
Exactly.
Okay?
You could bounce that off the wall and then still be
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Play basketball with those things.
Right.
You
can use them as bowling pins.
Seriously, my actual dishes
Yeah.
that I have in my home are old IHOP dishes
Right.
that I have had for,
Ever?
I want to say like a good 15 years plus.
Nice.
And they have no signs of having any problems. They're still going strong.
Because they're industrial dishes. Yeah.
They're industrial diner dishes.
Yeah.
They're not going anywhere anytime soon.
Most people would have just sent the milkshake back, Nadine, if they didn't like it.
Oh my gosh.
It's just like,
And it's like, I'm going to die.
she is going to kill me, and I am going to die.
I'm going to die. She's going to come and try and kiss my head.
Yeah.
And she's going to completely and totally,
What a waste of a good milkshake.
Who was the guy that killed the guy from Dorne on Game of Thrones?
Oh.
He was like the, I forget what his name.
The mountain?
I think it was the mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah, where he just took his head.
Yes, yeah, that was mountain.
That was the mountain.
Yep.
Yeah.
Squished it like a grape. Yeah. Oh, and hey, it's the return of Mike Nelson.
Not the good Mike Nelson.
No, this is
The
not great Mike Nelson. The future insurance salesman guy, Mike Nelson.
Yep. Is it insurance or is it cars?
I don't know. Maybe it is cars.
I forget. Cars.
It could be. I'm not gonna. Yeah. You might be right about that. I'll give you that.
I don't know.
I honestly can't remember.
We're gonna have to watch Twin Peaks again.
Well, we need to do the commentary versions of The Return.
We're gonna. Oh, what a burden on our lives, Charles.
I know. You only thought we were done.
You thought we were done. Look under the porch.
New shoes.
Oh God! Stop. Why am I watching Leo? He's just grossing me out. Tell me when Leo's gone.
You gotta cover your eyes.
Ugh. Well, did you get a hammer?
So Mike suggests, maybe there's stuff in the boot.
Yeah.
Well, who hides stuff in the heel of a boot and then takes it into a shoe place?
Da 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 da.
Exactly.
Da da da.
It's a shoe phone.
Da da da.
Die, shoe, die.
You just want to say you have the claw part of the boot.
Most people would use the claw part.
Use the claw part of the boot.
Bobby just keeps hitting the sole. Somehow the boot comes apart.
Oh, what do we have here? Oh. Okay, kids, this was a micro cassette. I'm sure you've heard of cassette tapes.
Yep.
This was a smaller version of it. It was about the quarter of the size of a regular cassette tape.
It's what you use for answering machines and
Cooper's dictation to Diane is about it. Yeah.
Yep. So Cooper's going to want that back.
Yep.
It's probably like his rather private tape for Diane or something.
Ew.
Yeah.
I don't want to know about that. See, they leave the donuts here to test your guilt, to see if you're guilty. If you don't eat them, then you're guilty. I ate the whole plate. The whole plate.
Well, what you don't know is there were like 3 other plates, and this is the only last remaining plate.
That was piled to the ceiling, and Harry just ate them all.
Exactly. It's how we get Harry in the conference room. He won't come in otherwise.
I like how Cooper's trying to piece this diary back together.
Right.
Oh, it's so sad. Laura's childhood is so depressing.
Yeah, this is where he gets kind of tipped off to the more least savory aspects,
Oh,
secrets.
poor thing. Someday I'm going to tell the world about Benjamin Horn.
Yep.
Today is that day.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's a big
Yep.
day for Benjamin Horn.
Yeah. Is there a reason why? Thank you. I was going to say, is there a reason why Audrey has not told him about One-Eyed Jacks yet? And
What?
asking ye shall receive.
Exactly. Right here. Boom.
Yeah, I'm feeling fine. My dad runs whores through his department store, and you're underage. Can you
Right.
please go arrest him? And while you're at it, break the living crap out of that photo of Laura that's on his desk, please.
It's been pissing me off for years.
I have a mentally challenged brother, and there's no photos of either one of us on his desk, but
Right.
Laura is there.
Right.
So could you burn that and then arrest him for running underage whores through his perfume counter?
So, like, maybe I could skip a therapy session or two.
Thank you, Agent Cooper.
Thank you. Drops the mic, walks off.
Exactly.
It's like Harry walks into the room and Audrey completely ignores him.
Well, she just thinks he's donuts. He smells like donuts.
He does. He smells like donuts and desperation.
He's just sad because his girlfriend's leaving.
Yep. Oh, fine, Audrey. Don't say hi to me or anything. I only, helped rescue you from being kidnapped.
Yeah, well, you helped Agent Cooper rescue me.
I was there. I did stuff.
Yeah, well, Hawk shot that guy, and Agent Cooper untied me. You stood there wondering where the whore donuts were.
I can do things. I'm smart. Not like everybody says.
Yes, a warrant for the arrest of Benjamin Horn.
Zan is
will rise again.
Zan is a happy person.
Yeah.
It didn't take much, just an arrest warrant.
Yep, that's the things.
Yeah, this is about to become a very awkward business meeting.
Benjamin Horn's about to get arrested.
He's going down.
Not that I want Mr. Tajimura to have any decent fate either, but
right. But comparatively
speaking, like I said, Mr. Tajimura helps, bring down Benjamin Horn.
Right.
It also helps bring down Josie Packard, and I don't like that. So,
look out, Ben! It's the Popo.
This is police business, and you need to come with us because you're a terrible man. To be a little more specific, yeah, we're arresting you for running teenage whores across the Canadian border. Get in the damn car.
We're dropping a dime on your ass.
And if you're lucky, you get to ride with Harry, because if you ride with Hawk, he's going to punch you in your smug little face.
And Harry just smells like donuts.
And you cannot dance your way out of this one.
Insane.
Yeah, drag him through the lobby in handcuffs.
Well, he does say, if you don't come quietly, we're gonna drag you.
And the risk he's holding the beer chases my blues away.
But here's the thing: he doesn't come quietly, so presumably they did drag him through his lobby in handcuffs.
That would be so amazing.
But we needed to see that.
The only thing more amazing than Benjamin Horn being dragged to the lobby of the Great Northern in handcuffs is Jerry Horn being dragged to the lobby of the Great Northern in handcuffs.
Bad
Ben.
See,
here we go.
Bad Ben. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
Bad Ben. What you want to do? Hawk is filmed before live studio.
I like the look on Tojimura's face here.
All suspects are innocent until proven guilty.
In a court of law. You have a nice evening, ma'am. Oh, sir. Sorry.
Whatever. Let's trash his office.
I like how Cooper bows because the guy's Japanese.
Cooper's a man of the world.
He's a cosmopolitan kind of guy.
Oh boy.
And Tojimura's going, I can't believe I slept with that loser.
A lot of times.
And now shit is happening again.
Do you guys see that
shit
fan?
Is happening again.
Watch out.
Yes. It's going down in the Palmer house.
There's just a mountain of shit headed for that fan right now.
Carpet, slow-mo on the carpet, eye level on the carpet.
Uh-huh. Yeah, tell me when he's...
Here's the stairs. And, oh, hi, Sarah. Here's Sarah doing her best frog bug impression.
Oh,
Because the frog bug's inside her at this point, right?
the frog bug is inside her. Yes.
We know that now.
It just crawled in there while she was sleeping.
Yep.
And
here she is crawling,
do you
like...
see that fan, you guys?
Yep. It's the ominous ceiling fan is ominous.
All the shit is going to hit that very fan tonight.
Pretty much.
Yep.
Literally. Yes.
Because...
Yeah. Andy is wearing a cap for some reason. Yeah, do you really want to F with this?
I was just sitting here drinking my drink. You saw me. Then I just ripped the guy's throat out because that's what I do.
Right.
Who's here?
Enter the log lady. Log's like...
Catherine in real life, Margaret right here.
The log is just like, hi, how you doing? I'm in this
The
episode.
log is like, dude, do you realize what's going to go... This is going to be the most eventful night since your ass got shot. Okay?
Right, exactly. This all happened in one night? How long was I out?
There are owls in the roadhouse. There's probably owls in the roadhouse every damn night.
Yeah, it's like, they need an exterminator then. Like,
yeah, the roadhouse is not well sealed, okay?
No.
There's owls in that thing all the time.
Is happening, isn't it, Margaret? I love Kyle's delivery there.
Oh. Yes, it's happening.
Ominous whooshing.
All kinds of ominous whooshing. Oh, Pete Martell.
Pete's just trying to make a sandwich. Little midnight snack.
Oh. You know what I don't like about people who make sandwiches in the middle of the night in movies and television?
They end up dying.
They use way too much mayonnaise.
See, I hate mayonnaise.
They're always like putting mayonnaise on like bologna sandwiches or something like that. I'm like,
I never do that. I would never do that.
There's this movie.
If mayonnaise was supposed to be on a bologna sandwich, it would have been there in the first place.
Seriously. Whoa.
Yep, he's got a nice cool glass of milk. That
milk, and he's,
that milk will cool down on you. And down goes the plate of milk in the sandwich. What a waste.
Oh. Pete Martell is trying to explain that he doesn't exactly swing that way. But, look who it is.
Yep. There's something about your eyes. And like, wait, what?
Fenders when we were talking about him.
Pete's giving her the, like, get the F out of here eye.
Yeah. I love how it takes Pete, 10 minutes to, get anything to soak into him. I think it's adorable.
Catherine?
First of all, she kind of looks like a dude. Second of all, he was pretty sure she was dead, so...
Yeah, exactly. Well, see, he's going to hear the double whammy. Yeah, it's just like that awkward moment when you realize that your dead wife is alive. And, by the way, she's doing a racist impression, and she's a crossdresser. So she's like a racist crossdresser.
Yeah.
Horrible.
So it's kind of... He's got a lot to process right there.
Skipping record is skipping.
Hey, it's better than the boxing match starting over every 18 seconds.
That's true. Do the frog bug, everybody.
Okay.
Yep. And here's where things get even trippy even for Twin Peaks.
And this is where I think the origin of the Simpsons parody comes from. I think it's mostly from this scene.
Yep. If you want to ride, don't ride the white horse. The horse is the white of the eyes and dark within.
And dark within.
And she's down.
Yeah. Something has been going on with Sarah Palmer for a long, long time, just as it's been going on with Laura.
Now we know what the deal is with her.
Yeah.
Mostly.
And in the game of Leland or Bob.
Was it Leland, his attorney, always straightening his tie?
Yes, in the game of Is It Leland or Bob, this is 100% Bob tonight, kids.
Well, with a dash of Leland, as we'll see. It kind of goes back and forth.
Just enough to make you break your heart.
And here's Julie Cruz, everybody. I'm Casey Kasem, right here on the countdown. Coming in number 1, it's Rockin' Inside Your Heart.
Rockin' back inside my heart.
Rockin' back inside your heart. My heart.
Oh.
which is a great song, by the way.
Would somebody again please tell me how these kids are allowed to be in a bar?
Often her Floating into the Night album. Highly recommended.
Highly recommended. Yeah, you heard about Harold Smith? How I killed him?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Yeah.
you mean the guy that you like freaked
It's
out?
not anybody's fault. He was a sick man, and you tried to take advantage of that for your own benefit. And you tried to not only lie to him to get secrets out of him, but you tried to seduce him as well, making him think that he might have had a friend for the first time in a couple of years. So, yeah, you killed him.
James tries to reassure her, though.
Yeah, you violated that. Oh.
Yep, you violated it real good.
You are a terrible person, Donna.
Just eat a gun already.
No, don't eat a gun. Just go be a model in New York.
Okay.
And then, fail.
And then have a failed miserable life and end up divorcing your husband and
yeah, marry a husband for purely appearance reasons, and then go back and be the office manager at your dad's practice.
Log Lady doesn't usually show up till like Thursdays.
Is it Friday already? Log Lady likes peanuts.
Yeah, yep. The log likes the peanuts, apparently.
Gosh, this whole record reminds me of like my sophomore year of high school. I listened to this record so much.
I did too after this. It's like, oh yeah. Oh, I'm really broken up about that Maddie's leaving.
No, she never said anything to me. Yeah, well,
You went all full psycho on her for holding James's hand. I can't imagine why.
Yeah, you got mad at her for holding someone's hand when he was crying about his dead girlfriend.
Right.
And you made her an accessory to helping you kill a man.
Right.
You just don't use mentally disturbed people. It's not nice.
See how everything's all nice and sweet here? The music's just playing. Everybody's chilling out. It's all good. Catherine's got her, or Margaret's got her peanuts.
Hey, is that
what?
T-Bone Wolk back there playing the bass?
Who?
Is it T-Bone Wolk playing the bass?
I don't know.
Well,
and here's Donna, a lip sync battle with Donna Hayward.
Oh my gosh. All right, let's go over here.
Uh-oh.
See what we can find out.
Gonna match up a photo?
We're going to look at the liner notes of this record.
Zan is consulting her audio library.
Yeah, because if I'm on Skype and I try to Google at the same time, it's all just going to fall apart.
Yeah, you're going to hang up on us again.
Yep.
Don't do that. Oh, and now a little time passes, and we kind of switch tracks.
And we have more high school kids in a bar.
To another one of my favorite Julie Cruz songs, "The World Spins."
Oh, which is so beautiful.
Which was actually one of my suggested names for this very podcast.
That was. Yep.
I always love that title, "The World Spins."
All right. Well, he's not on the album.
This is such a sad song and perfect. This is where, from this point on to the end of the episode, is perfection. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. I'm putting that out there.
Yeah, he's not on the album, but it might have been something that looked like him. I just got a glimpse of him.
So
it is happening again. And like seriously, like right now, as I'm talking to you.
Yep.
Bob.
It is happening again.
Okay, so whenever he says that, we know that Bob is killing someone, right?
Right, exactly. This is the Bob signal.
So this is the Bob signal. So now we know.
Oh, and then wait, here, Leland's admiring and smiling in the mirror. We cut to we cut to Leland, and then back to the reflection. Dun dun dun.
What? Tell me when he's gone. Just tell me when he's gone.
He's never gone. He's laughing.
Yeah. So here we are in the game of Bob or Leland. We're at 100%.
This is what we've achieved full 100% upload of Bob.
Mm-hmm.
Bob uploading is complete.
We know.
Let me just take out this, and we're showing basically how we killed Laura almost.
So kids, now we know who killed Laura Palmer, and it was her
father.
It's your father.
Yep. It's her father. My father killed me.
Oh, listen. What's that smell?
Smells like something's burning.
Yeah, it's the oil.
But if it was burning, then wouldn't it set off the smoke alarm? Just saying.
No, it's just the oil, the burn smell of the
Yeah,
oil.
exactly. The burnt engine oil. Get her, Leland.
She can't hide. Nowhere to hide.
And Cheryl Lee's performance here is just horrific.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's great.
And
Don't
here
get-
it is again. I mean, this is what
But
Cheryl Lee does.
it's just so well. It's so well done, but it's just so horrible
Mm.
for the character. Bob.
Yeah, and
So Bob punches her, and
Cheryl
then
Lee has been killed by Bob twice.
Right.
And I think that's more than any actress should have to do.
exactly. Now Bob, he corners her like he's like an animal cornering his prey.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, come on, try and make a run for it.
You want to get nuts? Come on.
Let's get nuts.
And of course, Leland has drugged Sarah.
Right. So
she-
Sarah's out cold.
Yeah, pretty much.
No idea if the frog bug is awake, though.
Oh my God! Just with his bare hands.
And punches her another couple of times after she falls back on the couch.
Mm-hmm.
And then he picks her up. Dance with me.
Dance with me.
Dance with me. And again,
Oh.
Cheryl Lee's performance here is phenomenal.
Both of them. I mean, this is
Yes.
this is just
heart wrenching.
it's heart wrenching. It's chilling. It's you can't look away.
No.
And see, here
And,
we
and,
have.
and this is where Leland creeps in because
This is where Leland creeps in.
he weeps. You know, he's weeping over Laura at the same time, but then Bob. And you notice, like, Leland is in real time, but Bob is in the slow-mo effect.
And Bob has that horrible, like, guttural Bob scream.
Yes. And this white spotlight on him.
Yep.
And he's kissing her ever so sickeningly.
Oh, it's just, oh God. Lucy, it's
Like
just
this,
so horrible.
this ultimate skeevy guy, like, kissing and touching and...
Well, and this whole thing, like you were talking about with an animal with its prey, that whole
Yeah.
concept of, how there's, like how cats will
Right.
pounce and then play with their prey
They're
and then
toy
pounce again.
toy with them. Yeah, exactly.
Toy with it. It's just terrible.
Yep.
And he's just
And he's
basically
just basically feeding off her fear here.
he's feeding off her fear, and he's just going to rip the life from her with his bare hands.
Yeah.
And Leland can't take it. I mean, Leland's had to go through this twice.
Right.
He cannot take this. Because not only does he know, and so here's Bob.
And now
Go.
Bob asserts
Here's my
himself
line.
right here. So this is 100% Bob right here.
Yeah. Yep.
And back
Ah!
to Missoula, Montana.
And that's the thing. It's like Bob is not just toying
Yep.
with Maddie. He's toying with Leland too. He's
Right.
letting Leland
Right.
come back every now and again.
He's probably feeding off Leland's fear and misery as well.
Yeah, he's letting Leland pop in to see what he's doing
Right.
and to know that it's happening again.
So here we have also Bob pulls out an X-Acto knife, which apparently he had in his pocket,
Right.
and
he's-
inserts this letter underneath her ring finger.
yes,
So that's essentially kind of what went down.
that's
Now, obviously,
yep.
we get the full deal in Fire Walk with Me,
Yes, we do.
the full brutal deal.
Laura is a little bit more brutal, but not by much.
No. And then we cut back.
And yet again, Cooper, you were
Cooper-
in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Cooper touches his ring finger,
Oh, my
You
ring
noticed.
is missing.
and the giant fades, and the band comes back like, this is all just this vision you experienced.
And the world spins.
The world spins. And again, this song becomes even more heartbreaking, and this is why I love this episode. This song,
Yeah, this episode is everything coming together.
This song complemented this horrible event perfectly.
Oh, yeah, this song is so beautiful and so melancholy.
And then even the waiter comes over, and he's like, I'm so sorry. Pats
Yeah.
him on the shoulder.
And even the song says, don't go away.
Right. And Cooper has this sad look, but he doesn't quite know why yet.
He knows that something happened, but he doesn't
and
quite.
that maybe he failed because he couldn't prevent it.
He doesn't know what happened, and Bobby knows something's wrong,
Yeah, even Bobby
and
is dialed in on it.
the log lady knows something's wrong. Donna knows something's wrong.
I'm not sure why
James
Bobby
is about to figure it out.
Is it because his connection to Laura, I guess?
Yeah, Bobby's connection with Laura. I mean, that's the thing. We forget how under her spell Bobby was.
Right.
We've been watching so much of James and Laura, and then James and Donna, and then we've been watching a lot of Bobby and Shelley.
Yeah, and
but we forget.
Donna breaks down here and cries.
Yeah, it's just the way Donna knew that Laura was dead.
Yeah, exactly. If you remember, go back to the pilot. Yeah,
the first episode. Yeah, the pilot episode where
she's in school and she sits at the desk and she starts bawling for no reason.
Yeah, she sees somebody running across the quad screaming.
Yeah,
and she just figures out. And Julie Cruz knows something's up.
No kidding.
I mean, everybody in this town.
Maybe you should bring in Julie Cruz for questioning.
Julie, yeah, or have Julie Cruz say, you know what, you guys, I'm glad you're here, and please pay the 2-drink minimum, but get the hell out of the bar.
Right.
Go over to the Palmer's house because
you're costing us
horrible shit's about to come down.
You're costing us our clientele. They're dropping like flies.
Yeah, seriously.
And red curtains.
Oh,
dun dun dun.
Oh, what a wrecking episode.
But
so
perfect.
Now we know.
Perfect.
We have the big reveal.
Yes. Oh, and then we also get the song playing over the credits here. So,
yep. So it's
just
so
because
beautiful.
just because your heartstrings weren't tugged enough.
Yeah, if you didn't think your heart was breaking after the commercials that ABC threw at you before this happened,
yes,
you're being reminded how much your heart is broken.
Right.
So this was the big reveal as to who killed Laura Palmer, and as they say in Fire Walk with Me, it's your father.
Right.
Which just makes it the most horrible thing.
Right.
In the world.
So when you saw this episode for the first time, what was your reaction?
When I saw this episode the first time, I knew that he was the killer.
Did you figure it out?
No. I knew. I remember I didn't watch this when it aired.
Oh, okay.
I didn't start watching Twin Peaks as it aired until it came back.
Right.
After being canceled. After it came back.
That's right.
So I knew, but it was that sort of thing where that, culturally that Darth Vader is Luke Skywalker's father, but that's all you know until you see the movie. You don't know how it happened.
You don't appreciate it. What went into it.
Right. You don't know what happened.
Right.
And I had seen Fire Walk with Me before I'd seen this. Because I was one of those people that was like, starting to get into Twin Peaks, and then Fire Walk with Me came in the theater. I'm like, I know I haven't seen the rest of it, but I need to watch it.
So you kind of went at it in the order of continuity.
I went at it in order of when I was able to access it.
Okay. All right.
Right. This was.
But you started with a prequel.
No, I started with when Twin Peaks came back on the air after it had been canceled.
Okay.
After the letter writing campaign.
Okay, so at the end of season 2.
That middle part of season 2.
The middle part of season 2. So around the time after this.
It was when somebody else died at the Great Northern Hotel.
Oh, okay, got it.
And went into a drawer.
I got you.
It was that episode.
Okay, and became furniture. Yes.
And became furniture. Yes.
Got it.
And became legend and became furniture.
Got it.
That was the first episode I saw.
Okay.
Was that one, and then I think I may have told you this story before.
So that's a hell of a first episode to watch.
Yeah, this show premiered my freshman year of high school.
Right.
But it actually technically premiered when I was still in the 8th grade. So, because it was earlier on in 1990 when it premiered. So I just had a lot going on that time, and I didn't know it was a thing until it was a thing.
Right.
Then I started watching it, and it was like, okay, that was I'd seen like bits and pieces of it here and there, and it moved around a lot. That was a thing that TV networks did. They would move things around.
Because ABC was trying to try to salvage the flagging ratings, because after
Right.
after Laura Palmer mystery, ratings went downhill.
Right. So there were, it was all this, all these sort of
So
factors.
they kept moving it around, and at the time we didn't know when this thing was actually going to be on the air.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
And
you
what
expected it
happened
one
was,
night, it would be on a different night completely.
yeah, it went from Thursdays to Sundays to Fridays.
They just really yanked around with the schedule.
They really did. So what happened was I got to a point where I was like, okay, I think I'm just a little too late for this party.
Right.
So I'm not going to be part of it. And so, but then I was at a friend's house. My friends Sarah and Kristen growing up, Sarah Lucanos and Kristen Heinzerling growing up, they were my friends from Kettering, and they had been into the show for a long time. And I happened to be visiting when that episode that I'm talking about premiered. And so they were going to get together and watch it. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll watch it with you guys.
Right.
And I remember Bob being in that episode. And Kristen screaming at the top of her lungs. And I just remember thinking, like, there's probably more to this guy than I'm realizing. But even though I have no idea who this is, I know exactly why she's screaming at the top of her lungs right now.
Right.
So, so it really, really hooked me. And then at that point, I was taping it to make sure I saw it. I remember knowing where it was always. So from that point on, I was obsessed with it. But I did come very, very late to the party.
Yeah.
So then Fire Walk With Me, and I knew that, and it was big news because it was that whole, the same thing that happened in 1981 or 2. It was 82, I think. We're finally going to tell you who shot JR. And so it was big news.
On Dallas, yeah.
Yeah, it was really big news. Tonight we're going to learn who killed Laura Palmer. And so everybody knew that that's what was going on, and everybody was talking about it the next day. So I knew that it was Leland Palmer as Bob, and I didn't know what that meant, but I knew that that's what that meant. So as I watched the show a little bit more, and I, from that one episode on, I was, fanatic about this show. Remember, this is a time before television was on home video, before a lot of things were rerun.
The internet, obviously.
Before the internet, before Netflix, before any of that kind of stuff, before YouTube.
The dark
so there
times
was
before
really
the
no
Empire.
way for me to go back in time. I mean, I figured I'd find somebody with videotapes, but I had no idea when that was going to be. So I had no way to go back in time at that point. You really didn't see this show get repeated until Bravo.
Yes.
In 1995.
Right.
So, I had to wait a long time to get caught up, but by that point there had been home video of the first season. So I got caught up as they came available. So then Firewalk, the show ends in 1991. And then in 1992, we get Firewalk With Me. So I'm right there. I'm just want anything Twin Peaks.
So you did watch Fire Walk With Me in the theater?
I did.
When it came out.
When it came out in the theater. For like the 3 weeks it was in the theater.
Yeah, exactly. It had a very short shelf life. But as we talked about, I took my wife Lori to see it, and for some reason she's still married to me all these years.
She's still married to you, because she's not a Twin Peaks fanatic like we are. She's a Twin Peaks put her up with her.
I think that might have traumatized her from Twin Peaks.
Maybe. And my husband Chris, he found himself enjoying it, but I think he felt like it was one of those things where there was just so much hype, and he again felt also a little too late to the party.
Right.
So
this actually works out for us, because while we're geeking out over Twin Peaks, then like Lori and Chris can like talk to each other and not.
Yeah, they can do their own thing.
Exactly. They're the spouses that have to put up with us.
They can talk amongst themselves. Exactly. So I saw Fire Walk With Me, so I knew. After watching the end of that show, I knew who Bob was. I knew his relationship to Leland. I knew how that worked. And then seeing Fire Walk With Me, I had seen how he had killed Laura.
Right.
And then.
So after that, when you finally got to cycle back around.
When I finally got to cycle back around, I want to say. See, I don't remember how much was on home video, because I worked. Starting at the end of 1994 was when was starting college and had left high school.
Mm-hmm.
I had a job at Blockbuster Video. Talk about dating
That
stuff.
works. Yeah, that works.
Really fun job. And we had 5 free rentals a week.
So you got to see the Twin Peaks with the European version.
Right. So I'd seen that.
The special ending that was only on that home video.
Right. I had seen that. And
Yeah.
then, and I copied those videos.
Right.
Should I even say that out loud? But yeah, I copied those videos. And then
I think the statute of limitations is up on that.
I think it's up on that one, yeah. So, and then, but I believe that was only the first 8 episodes was the first thing that was on home video.
Yes, it was.
That I had access to.
Yeah, it took forever for the second season to come out.
For the second season in that big box. And so after that is when Bravo started running them. And I was in college at the time, and they ran them at like maybe 4 in the afternoon or something like that.
Yeah.
But by this point, I'm in college. I got my own VCR. I was
living the dream, baby.
I had the timer set on that thing, and I recorded every single one of those episodes. And that's how I had Twin Peaks on video for a really long time.
Yeah.
Because I had the first, like 1 through 8 that I copied from the original video, and then I had everything else from Bravo. And that's when I finally saw this episode. It was probably 95 when it reran on Bravo. And I sat transfixed crying at the television because, I knew it was going to happen.
Right.
I just didn't know
when.
I didn't necessarily know he was going to kill Maddie, because people weren't talking about the fact that he killed Maddie.
Right,
they were
right.
talking about the fact that it was Leland.
So
I didn't necessarily know he was going to kill
Maddie's
Maddie.
death.
I'd never seen Maddie.
Right. So Maddie's death. So Maddie's death caught you by surprise.
Maddie's death caught me by surprise, and it was so brutal and torturous that it was difficult. It was difficult to watch it, and
Right.
and it didn't matter how much time.
It still is, because we just watched it.
I'm not trying to hide the fact that I'm crying. I'm
Right.
really not trying to hide that, because I am.
She is visibly upset. I will point this out.
I'm Don Cornelius. Am I crying? 'Cause I'd be surprised if I were. So yeah, that was 95 when I saw that. And then I want to say it was like, I was with my ex-boyfriend, and we were hanging out with my friend Beth and her ex-husband, watching the box set, which the box set had the European pilot on it.
Right.
And she was like, wait a minute, what is this? What is this ending? What is of the pilot? And I'm like, well, this is what was on video.
Alternate ending, yeah.
That's not what this was. And my ex-boyfriend was like, I think I might have this on video. I think he taped it for posterity and never watched it. He was never a big fan. He just taped it because everybody was talking about it. So he brought it out, and it was probably 98 or 99 before I saw the original pilot.
Oh, wow. So you saw the European version before the original transmitted
version.
The original
pilot. Yeah. I knew something was different because the European pilot makes no freaking sense if you're watching the show.
Pretty much, yes.
So I finally see the original pilot, and I start screaming like my friend Kristen did that night that I watched my first episode with her, and she saw Bob. I was like, what the hell just happened? What is this? And then I think the 4 of us proceeded to watch Twin Peaks until probably 4 in the morning.
It'll do it.
It was ridiculous. I mean, it was ridiculous because we had been talking that we wanted to watch it again, and so she had the box set, and I had other videotapes that I had taped off of Bravo, which was cool to have at the time because Bravo is where those Log Lady intros came from.
See, and that was the big thing for me because so I watched this live when it first aired. So like every week, starting with a pilot, because I thought it was going to be a cool pilot, so I recorded it on VHS.
Good job.
Yeah. And
so did you have like a group of friends in your dorm quad watching this every week?
No. Because when it aired, I had like my own apartment.
Okay.
In Florida. So
okay.
Because I was like a junior at this point.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you would have been old enough to have your own apartment.
So I had my own little college apartment, and it was cool. But it was just me because nobody else I knew watched this show. So I checked out the pilot, I loved it, kept recording week after week, and then waited for season 2 and all that. So when we got around to this episode, I watched it live, and
wow.
I only got to figure out, I figured it out right when we see Sarah crawling down the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was just like, oh my God, Leland killed her.
Yeah.
And it just like, holy crap. And then I thought about that.
Hmm.
And then I thought about like instantly, like all the stuff we read in the diary and, the secret diary of Laura Palmer. And then just all this stuff just connected. Just that moment I saw Sarah crawl down the stairs.
Hmm.
And I was just like, holy crap. And then when we saw Bob's reflection in the mirror confirming it,
Yeah.
it just blew my mind.
Hmm.
And then
And that was,
and then we had the whole roadhouse scene and everything, and it just overwhelmed me. I could not. This episode just completely destroyed me
oh,
watching
oh
it.
yeah, I'm sure not knowing that was what was going
Yes,
to happen, because
it was.
I knew that's what the outcome was. I didn't know the
Yeah,
path to getting there.
yeah,
And I remember when the next day my friend Krista had been a big fan of the show. I went to high school with her, and I I asked her, I said, so last night, the big reveal, what do you think? And she said, the diary makes so much sense now.
exactly. That was my
Her
reaction.
first statement, was that the diary made so much sense.
Everything just. I mean, after this episode, I went back and reread the whole book
See, and I
again
had read,
to figure out, like, okay, all the stuff that I missed or didn't catch the first
yeah,
time. I kept looking for, like, oh, okay, so if Leland was the killer, then this happened because this and this, and, it
right,
made much more sense. It filled in all the blanks, or at least a lot of them.
exactly. And I didn't read the book until after I'd seen the show.
Yeah,
So, I was looking for that stuff. Like, I knew to look for, like, where's the tell here in this book.
yeah,
And the interesting thing about this episode is that it knocks a lot of people off of the suspect list, but that doesn't mean you're done with those people.
right.
It's like, we still want to know what's going on with Leo Johnson, and Benjamin Horn is not a suspect anymore,
But
but
he's still arrested. So
he's still arrested. Well, I mean, running teenage whores across the Canadian border, that's still a crime, but he didn't kill Laura. So he's up to no good, but he didn't kill Laura. Jacques Renault is gone, but he didn't kill Laura.
right.
And
Catherine Martell didn't kill Laura, even though
Catherine Martell didn't kill Laura. Mike and Bobby didn't kill Laura.
Shelley didn't kill Laura.
Shelley the waitress. And, what do you want me to say, David? It's Shelley. The episode's been shot. What do you want me to tell them? Lie?
Leo didn't kill Laura, even though he said, I did it.
You
saw me. Exactly.
Yeah, that's the thing. Leo did not kill Laura, but we still need to find out what's going to happen with Leo.
Right.
So that's one of the great things about how this show has been giving you these other stories that you sort of think are like, I don't care who killed this girl. You're starting to get.
Well, everybody had their pet theory.
Yeah, everybody had their pet theory. But now we have all of these dangling stories with all these people that were suspects, and even though they're not suspects anymore, we got to figure out what the hell's going on with everybody.
Right. And this isn't just because this revelation, obviously, this is not the end of the Laura Palmer mystery by any means.
It is not.
We have 2 more episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So taking us up, which obviously will take us right to our 50th episode.
Yes.
So
we timed this so perfectly.
Remember me saying that a while back, going, if the math works out, that our 50th episode was going to be a big one? Well, guess what?
Totally by accident. Look at us.
Yes, it's basically the cosmos aligned and actually worked in our favor for once.
And that's chaos.
Exactly. Yeah. So put that glass of water on your dashboard and see what happens.
Microscopic imperfections.
Yeah. As we get all go bloomy. Yeah. But yes. So that's going to be obviously a big episode.
Mm-hmm.
But next episode 49, is going to be just as big, which is obviously called Drive with a Dead Girl.
Wonder what Leland's going to do.
Yeah, I wonder. It's like, okay, I've got this body. Now what do I do with it? Because Sarah's going to wake up. I might need to move the body.
Yeah. So I'm going to say golf.
Yep. Yeah, golf. Golf's good. It's,
golf works.
Let's load up the convertible and go for a drive.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where we pick up next episode.
Oh, my
Season
goodness.
2, episode 8. But before we talk any further about that, what is your rating for this episode?
My rating for this episode is 10 out of 10 microcassettes.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
For me, I know I've been spoiling it all along, but 10 out of 10 for me as well. This episode is perfection to me. It's
10 out of 10 what, Charles?
10 out of 10 disappearing white horses.
Ooh, that's a good one, too. I like that.
I was going to go with that, or 10 out of 10 records skipping at the end.
I thought about 10 out of 10 broken milkshake glasses also.
That was a good one. That's a good one.
But see, the microcassette is see, you leave this episode and
Right.
you know you're talking about it over the water cooler, you know, the next day, and then a couple days later you're like, wait a minute, but what's on that cassette? What's going on with
Right.
Catherine Martell? Where's Josie? Benjamin Horne's going to jail. What? And so even though you have just found out what you've been waiting for
You still have all
for
these
like
other
14 episodes,
and we still don't even know who shot me.
I did. You
saw me. Exactly.
We're going to find that out pretty soon. And that's another thing. We still don't know who shot Cooper.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say one more time. Who in Twin Peaks is most likely to wear Vicuna?
Exactly. Well, we talked about that last episode.
Somebody
that does a lot of shopping in Seattle.
for, you know, llamas
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
alpacas
Alpacas.
from,
Yeah.
you know, Mystic East. I don't know. I mean, I'm just throwing shit out there, you know.
Go figure. Go figure.
Yeah, who knows?
Yep.
We'll find out. We'll find out.
But in the
But yeah,
meantime,
once the shock of this episode goes away, you
Yes.
realize that you're actually really interested in a bunch more questions,
right.
and you want to come back even though the big reveal has happened,
And
which
we-
I think is a brilliant thing. And hats off to Mark Frost on this one, because
Yeah.
it is literally 28 years later, and I am crying watching this.
Well,
episode.
David Lynch as well, obviously, because
Well,
the script is so good and it's so powerful, but the direction also, just the imagery
ugh.
and the way, you know, intercutting Leland with Bob and the whole
Mhm.
transitions from in and out of the roadhouse to the murder and then back into
the
the
murder.
roadhouse.
And then those strange little tense
Yeah,
nothings that he puts in, like you said, like all the Navy people bouncing balls
Yes.
for no reason.
right.
Just those little tense things that he added, and
The record skipping to kind of
that was the
give
record
you-
skipping.
that gives you that like, this isn't right. Something's wrong here.
Something's wrong. This sort of sinister feeling that
Yes.
something has
He's a master at that uneasiness.
wrong. He's a master at that. Of uneasiness. Absolutely. He's a master of making you feel extremely
Uncomfortable.
on edge and uncomfortable about your surroundings. And what I love about David Lynch is that if this were a feature film, if this had been a David Lynch feature film, we know what it would look like. We know it would look like Fire Walk with Me.
Right.
And David Lynch is aware that he has to, I don't want to say water down his style a little bit, but he really has to make his style a little bit more palatable for television, for a more, I don't want to say this word, but I can't think of anything else, but for a more run-of-the-mill mundane audience.
Yeah.
Because he's trying, you can't have a TV show for just us nerds.
Right.
You've got to have everybody watching it. And it was a phenomenon. Everybody watched it.
Yeah.
And we've said before that Twin Peaks changed television.
It did because
Every show you've loved since 1991 on would never have happened if it hadn't been for Twin Peaks.
exactly.
Starting with Northern Exposure,
And the
all the way
X-Files.
up through Killing Eve right
Right,
now,
right.
which, good job, Sandra Oh, on her Golden Globe Award, but all the way up through something like that, we would not have this television that we're talking about as being like
But-
this pinnacle of visual storytelling without Twin Peaks. But David Lynch can still be David Lynch for television. He doesn't water himself down. He just makes himself a little more direct and to the
Right.
point.
Right.
But he's still very much David Lynch, and I think that's a mark of a fantastic director. And I cannot say enough good things about Ray Wise
Right.
ever, but especially for this episode. This is, probably his best performance in the world of Twin Peaks after the murder scene in Fire Walk with Me.
Right.
I mean, the murder scene in Fire Walk with Me, I can't even talk about.
Well, no. Well, 2 episodes from now, I think is his best performance.
I think he does a fantastic job at him going back and forth
Yes.
between the two characters.
Right, because you could see the when Bob takes over, this kind of like
Right.
this surge he gets in his performance.
And the thing is, you can see that with just Ray Wise. For for a little bit more of an ease of storytelling, David Lynch does bring in Frank Silva
Right.
to let everybody, to make sure everybody realizes what's happening. But I don't know if that's necessary to get that point across. I think that Ray Wise, I mean, it's necessary for the fact that this is a reveal, that we are revealing a secret and we are making sure that it's known to everybody. But Ray Wise can do it by himself, to go back and forth between Leland and Bob.
Ray Wise could do it all.
Yeah, he can do it all.
But it just means it's visually it works better with having Frank Silva as well, because
it does.
You can see both sides of that dual nature going, that battle inside his head.
And it helps you be disgusted by him. And it makes you, it's an amazing thing when you feel sorry for the killer.
Right, because it reminds you that, hey, Leland is under being controlled by Bob here. It's, it's more Bob doing the killing here. It's just Leland is just the vessel that Bob is using to make it happen.
You are seeing Leland rip the life out of his niece with his bare hands.
Right.
But you feel sorry for him when you are reminded of how disgusting Bob is. And so it's necessary for that, but not to get the point across, because Ray Wise is so good at what he does. And again, Cheryl Lee, impeccable in this, because Cheryl Lee, and what's interesting is, and we don't know this yet. We do not know this yet because we haven't seen Fire Walk with Me. But when you think about Fire Walk with Me, like, now when we can think about it in retrospect.
Right.
This is Cheryl Lee playing Maddie dying, not Laura Palmer with brown hair.
It's completely different when
it's a completely different character.
Different performance.
She dies in a different way. It's a completely different performance, even though it's the same actress being killed by the same character and the same actors.
Right.
Cheryl Lee plays it as completely, it's, Maddie dies one way and Laura does another, even though they die in very, very similar ways. Cheryl Lee does a fantastic job of making it two different people. The way Maddie dies is not the way Laura dies. Laura, I think Maddie almost is overcome by fear.
Right.
Whereas Laura is overcome with realizing that this is what I knew was going to happen. I knew this was coming.
Well, Laura kind of like, she wanted to die. Bobby talked about that. She wanted to die.
I think she wanted it all to be over.
She was tired. She couldn't fight anymore.
She just wanted the fighting to stop.
Right. She kept fighting Bob because Bob was trying to take her over.
Yeah.
And she kept trying to fight him off.
I don't know if I agree with Bobby that she wanted to die. She just wanted it to be over, and dying was, if that was how it could happen, that was okay with her, but I don't think it's what she wanted.
Yeah. She was at least, like, if this, you're right. If that was it, if that was the only way to get her out of her predicament, she was okay with that.
She would take it. Yes. Yeah, she'd take it. And I think Laura's death shows somebody who is upset that that's actually happening, but is aware that this is her fate. Whereas I think Maddie's death is, you have somebody who has no idea what's going on and just becomes paralyzed by fear.
Right.
Because, he is able to knock some fight out of her, but I think it's...
Yeah, Maddie was an innocent because...
Yeah, it's a fragility in Maddie, and it's also she's totally paralyzed by fear.
Right.
And it's interesting too, after the, now I'm thinking about this, it's interesting too, after the return, how something is keeping Sarah Palmer safe and out of it when the shit's going down.
Right. Well, that was the frog bug.
The frog bug, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And so it happened tonight, and it happened when she was a kid, when the entire town went unglued.
Well, I think here it was Leland had drugged her, but
Leland, right? Bob drugged her.
I mean that's what I meant. Yeah,
Yeah, but that whole there's something that keeps. Why didn't Bob kill Sarah? Something's up with Sarah. She needs to be around. She needs to be kept safe from these bad things.
Yeah, you're right. There could be just because of now that we know she has that frog bug inside her. Maybe it's kind of like Bob repellent or whatever.
Well, yeah,
that Bob isn't able to feed off her fear.
Because had she been conscious for the woodsman,
yeah,
and if she'd been conscious for Bob, would their throats have gotten ripped out?
It's a good question.
I don't know. I think there's something about Sarah.
Start writing that fanfic, everybody.
Oh, come on, internet. I don't have the time, but I want to read it. So
exactly.
Come on, let's do this thing.
Exactly.
So yeah, there's a lot to think about here.
Yeah,
in retrospect, there's a lot to think about.
We could be talking about this for hours, I think, because this one episode just gets you thinking about all kinds of stuff. Like you start thinking about like, hey, we got the introduction of that cool mirror effect where, the host body reflects Bob, which we don't see again until the final episode.
I still don't want to see that ever again.
I know.
Yeah.
That's a hard one. That's a hard one to swallow.
Well, and what's interesting too is that you have all of these horrible people that come through Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
But Bob's not in any of them. Bob's in the ether after Leland.
Yeah.
Something happens.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Bob is just kind of floating around
in the forest. Yeah.
So it's not like they use that effect all the time.
No. It's apparently Bob targets very specific people.
Yeah.
And so maybe people that are sensitive.
Or people who are desperate. Sensitive and desperate, and Cooper was both. And so we see this mirror effect in this episode, which rips everybody's heart out and is very jarring and sticks with you. And then by the time we have that last episode, we haven't seen this effect since.
Right.
So when we see it in that last episode, and it's compounded by that, that just slow backing up and then whamming into the mirror.
Right.
And we know when we see Cooper looking in the mirror and we're like, oh, please no. And then when they show you that, you just lose your mind.
Right.
You just lose your mind because they don't overuse it. Because they don't overuse it, you just lose your mind. The only time you remember it is this horrible, horrible event.
Right. And
so
we'll see how we react when we get around to that episode.
Oh my God. I know we've already talked about it, but still.
I know. We do. We haven't watched it, and reacted to it.
Yeah, we haven't
reacted to it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right. So obviously we've been talking about this quite a while, and we could probably still talk.
Tell us what you think.
Tell us what you think. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Perfect segue. Tell us what you thought of this episode, because it is such a big game changer for this series and is the big payoff for the Laura Palmer mystery, finding out who the killer is.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's not the ultimate conclusion. Again, we don't get that for another 2 episodes.
The cliche where they say if you cut off the head of the monster, 50 grow back in its place.
Yeah, the Hydra.
That's what's happened. We finished the one storyline, and then we have this branching of other stories that we need to get to.
Exactly, and that's the mark of a good series, is that, hey, you can pick up and talk about other threads. So, email us, if you would. Email us at ghostwoodpodcast@gmail.com.
The Gmail.
ghostwoodpodcast@gmail.com. Let us know what you thought about this episode. What did you? How did you react the first time you saw it, or maybe when you're with friends, how they reacted to it, and you laughed at them, or were horrified with them, right along with them.
I wonder. Remember those reaction videos that people who had read the Game of Thrones books did of their friends during the Red Wedding?
Right.
It's it would have been fun to see
Wouldn't it?
reaction videos like this. Nobody knew this was going to happen, but it would have been fun to see the reaction videos.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yep.
But sadly, we live in a different era. But you can reach us also at Ghostwoodcast, at Ghostwoodcast on the Twitter machine, or Ghostwood the Twin Peaks Podcast on Facebook. Either that's 3 places right there you could reach us. Let us know what you thought about this episode, and also while you're at it, what you think of the couple episodes that are coming up, because those are big episodes as well.
Yeah, exactly.
And give us your
talk
thoughts on
too.
those. We'd love to hear from, and we'd love to talk about them if you'd like to share. So please do. Otherwise, please go to iTunes, rate and review us. That helps people find us.
Yeah.
Also on Apple Podcasts. And also go to Southgate Media Group's website, southgatemediagroup.com, where you can go to the Patreon from there and help support Ghostwood the Twin Peaks Podcast. Help Rob Southgate keep the lights on. I'm sure he'd appreciate that.
Yep, he does all our heavy lifting.
Exactly. He does our editing and all our like wacky cobbled together copies. He puts that out in at least a semi-presentable format. So kudos
He
to Rob
deals with
for
all
that.
of our technical difficulties and makes
Exactly.
it sound like we know what we're doing.
Exactly. So kudos to Rob, and help him out and help us help support Southgate Media. I'm sure that would be great. Zan, where can they reach you on the interwebs?
Well, I am on the Twitter machine and the Instagram as Udanax19, which again is Xanadu spelled backwards.
Right. If you haven't figured that out.
Yep. I'm on the Facebook, but I'm mostly on there to comment. I don't post my own stuff that much.
Right.
So
Well, you do post stuff to Ghostwood.
I post stuff to Ghost with it. Yeah, not to my personal page. I don't post that. I'm more on Instagram and Twitter these days.
Yeah.
What about you, Charles?
Obviously, for me, at Charles Skaggs on the Twitter, at Charles Skaggs on the Insta, Facebook, of course, at Charles Skaggs in Hilliard, Ohio, and my blog of geeky things.
Damn good coffee. And hot.
Damn good coffee
work,
and
Andy.
hot. Yeah, good work, Andy. Thumbs up. But where I talk about all the stuff we talk about here in Ghostwood, any kind of Twin Peaks cool things that come down the pike, anything about David Lynch. I need to start posting some articles about the upcoming Dune adaptation by Denis Villeneuve, or however you pronounce his last name.
Villeneuve?
Villeneuve.
Yes. I'm sure you all remember me saying that was like legit my favorite movie of 2017
Right.
was Blade Runner 2049.
Exactly. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. And Stellan Skarsgård just got cast as Baron Harkonnen,
Baron Harkonnen, yeah, I saw that today, and that's
which I think is really interesting because he's not a really heavy-set guy unless he does makeup.
he'll know.
He'll know.
Yes.
Yes.
It sealed his it was Baron Harkonnen who sealed his doom.
That flying fat man. Boom.
Bring me that flying fat man. But I can't wait to see what he looks like with
Yep. And
the
Dave
oils.
Dave Bautista is probably Baron or Raban.
Yeah, I saw Dave Bautista too, and there was talk about him being
Beast
Baron
Raban.
Harkonnen. But Raban, almost makes a little bit more sense.
Right.
Here's my thing.
Yeah.
Who's going to be Fade?
I don't know.
I'm
Obviously,
very curious.
obviously, Sting's a little old to be wearing those flying underpants.
I want it to be like Michael Fassbender or Cillian Murphy would be good.
Well, to kind of put this in also a little bit of a Twin Peaks connection, Alicia Witt, who, as we know, played the daughter, Paul Muad'Dib's sister Alia.
Alia, yeah, she's
Yeah.
Alia.
So she was Alia as a kid, very young kid,
Very young child, yeah. and
way
then
even before Twin Peaks, obviously, 1984.
she was in
she-
the return
so-
as Gersten Haywood. So.
Right, exactly. But someone posted on Twitter that she should be cast as Jessica, Paul's mother.
She should 100% be
And
cast as
and
that.
here's the thing, though. Alicia Witt retweeted that, and she said, "Hell yeah, I'm up for that."
You know who else I would?
So
damn it,
Denis,
damn it, Charles, now I'm sad.
Denis, that make that happen because that's perfect casting.
Yeah, Villeneuve, make that happen, please, because that's amazing. Now I'm sad again because now I'm thinking that I would have loved to have seen Miguel Ferrer as the Emperor.
Oh.
That shit's not going to happen.
Oh, I didn't think about that until you just brought it up. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
I know.
That's
But
what
I feel like Sting
yeah.
could come back too. Like Sting could be like Piter de Vries or something like that.
Ooh, maybe. That's an interesting choice. Or maybe he could be Shaddam.
Yeah, maybe he could. I don't know, or somebody, or one of those. Oh, he could be one of those mining guild guys. You know,
Maybe.
that'd be awesome.
Like what David Lynch played in the original movie, because remember
No, the guys with the guild guys with the he could be the voice of the guy in the
you mean the navigators.
the navigators, yeah.
Oh,
That's the guild. That's the mining guild.
Yeah, that guy. Oh,
and I can't think of what he's called. I can't think of his name right now. It's been too long since my book group is talking about reading that book. I'm like, I need to reread that. It's been like 26 years since I've read that book.
You mean we see two houses feuding: House Atreides, House Harkonnen.
We see you behind it.
Yes, exactly. All right. So now I know who you're talking about.
And as the Reverend Mother could be Francesca Annis instead of
so it's like everybody that's was in the original movie upgrades.
They're just the older version
the
of
older
their
versions.
characters. Yeah, exactly.
Everett McGill could be like let's see, he was Stilgar and now he gets bumped up to Gurney Halleck.
No, he could be oh my god. I cannot believe I can't think of his name.
Careful when you tap. Don't knock us off.
Yeah, I got to sit on my hands. What is Max von Sydow's character? What was his name? It's on the tip of my tongue.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah. He was the kind of
I can't think of it. But anyway, yeah.
I know who you're talking about. Yes.
It would be fun to see some cameos, but I think
everybody go to IMDb and look up who we're talking about, because we can't remember.
Right, it's Max von Sydow's character, and it's on the tip of my tongue, and I can't think of it, and I will bolt up in the middle of the night and yell it out.
That guy's that's a good choice.
I think it's good if we have really, if we don't just recast it with the same people, but we do have little cameos. Like Alicia Witt would be perfect because she was barely in it.
Yeah.
You know, same thing would be like, I think Virginia Madsen would be a good cameo because she was barely in it. Linda Hunt would be a good cameo because she wasn't in it very much.
Right.
And Sting, just because he's Sting, goddammit.
Exactly. Sting needs to be in this movie somehow.
Somehow. I mean, come on.
He might do it.
Yeah.
He can't be getting too many acting gigs these days.
Well, Sting can do whatever he wants.
Exactly. He's got FU money. He can do whatever he wants.
Well, he's also just awesome, and he's a good human being.
He is.
So whatever he feels like.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's I am loving Dave Bautista. The more I see him, and the more I just absolutely adore him.
Right. I think it's interesting, and obviously because Dave Bautista was in Blade Runner 2049,
he was.
It's a perfect natural choice for Denis to pick.
Denis Villeneuve, yeah.
Denis Villeneuve.
And Villeneuve, he has proven himself like to be the perfect guy for that reboot or that continuation that you like as much, if not better, than the original.
Right.
Because if you haven't seen Blade Runner, you need to see it like tonight. Like, yes. I don't care how
mandatory viewing.
I don't care how early you have to get up in the morning to watch that movie. Like today,
work is canceled.
Yeah, work is canceled. Yeah, call work and say I've never seen Blade Runner, and they'll say you're not allowed to come back to work without a written note from your doctor.
You need the excuse that I have watched Blade Runner.
And then you want to see Blade Runner 2049 because it will rip your heart out of your nose, and it is the most beautiful thing you'll ever see.
Yeah.
So
good. And the soundtrack.
See and hear. It's one of the most beautiful things you'll ever see.
Exactly. I was just saying, because you have to put hearing on that, because the score for following up the original Vangelis score.
Hans Zimmer knocks this out of the park.
Pretty much.
Hans Zimmer has not traditionally been.
And I forget, was he with also James Newton Howard with that, or was it just Hans Zimmer?
It was somebody else, and it might have been that too. I'll have to look it up. But okay. The thing is, Hans Zimmer was never one of my have to collect kind of guys. I mean, he's good.
Yeah.
I got nothing against Hans Zimmer, but he's never, like I said, he's never been one of my absolutely have to collect people. But
I think we're gonna have to do like
an
Blade Runner.
Amazing job.
A Blade Runner
absolutely
podcast.
Amazing job. No, Benjamin Wallfish.
Okay, all right.
That's who this was. Yeah, I knew it was
I
somebody else.
didn't. I didn't think he did it
Right.
solo.
No, but yeah, Benjamin Wallfish.
Okay.
So, you like how my room is my Google?
Yeah, exactly. All right. So, everybody, as we try to sign off before everything
Don't
crashes.
let me keep talking about Blade Runner. Seriously,
we-
bring my ass in with that.
Again,
please.
we need to do a Blade Runner podcast because we'll just be talking about that forever. But Twin Peaks, getting back to that, Drive with the Dead Girl next time for episode 49, season 2, episode 8.
I would just like to say,
Yeah,
I'm sure you've all noticed that I've lost a little bit more of my voice as we've been talking.
right.
I'm going to blame Donna Hayward for that because of me yelling at her.
Well, you didn't scream Missoula, Montana like I did, so
That was going to be the last thing I said if I said
probably. All right,
so. But yeah, one more reason to dislike Donna Hayward because I had to yell at her
exactly.
for helping.
Donna shakes fist.
Yeah, this is. She basically did the equivalent of like Facebook bullying somebody into a corner. I mean, she's terrible.
Everybody needs
one more time. 1-800-273-TALK-8255. National Suicide Prevention Hotline. Suicide's never the answer.
Never.
Absolutely.
There's too many. You can always reach out for help.
Yes, there's always something.
No. Good words.
There's always a new Dune movie being directed by Denis Villeneuve.
Exactly. There's reasons to live, people.
Something to look forward to, even if it's the fact that it's Taco Tuesday. There's something.
There's Ghostwood episode 50 coming up. You got reasons to live.
Ghostwood episode 50. There are little things every day.
And that is going to be
Give
huge.
yourself a present.
Huge.
Give yourself a present.
Yes.
Don't say that. We're trying to prevent people from hurting themselves.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. Good point. It's going to be big. How's that?
Episode 50 will have a cherry pie that'll kill you.
Indoor plumbing. It's going to be big.
It's gonna be big. Plastics. That's all I'm saying. All right.
So everybody, come on back. It's going to be another good episode as we kind of hit this little bit of a trilogy, the Bob trilogy, wrapping up the murder of Laura Palmer. Come on back, episode 49 next time. I'll be here, Zan will be here, and hopefully you'll be here, right here in Ghostwood, the Twin Peaks podcast. Bye, everybody.
Good night, everybody.